everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever it is that you are. Welcome once more to another video podcast of Political News Time, coming at you from the PNT Live Network on the road. My hair is a mess today, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's see. The last time I did a PNT Live, I was in a rather emotional state of mind. So, I don't have any political news for today. I don't have any news about anything. Have a good night. I said that I might not continue doing PNT Live, but it was my time of the month. And that's all I have to say about it. And you know what? Sometimes that's how it is when you're a woman. And I think some of you men out there need to realize that a bit more, especially in the IRL streaming world. You know, I see quite a few misogynistic streamers constantly badgering the IRL women streamers, and you need to stop it, because a lot of the things that you complain about when it comes to us, those are also things that make us wonderful. And I think if more of you male streamers had girlfriends, you wouldn't give us such a hard time. But part of the reason you don't have girlfriends is because you do give us such a hard time. So anyways, what are we going to talk about tonight? You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Andrew Gillum news. A lot of people don't know who Andrew Gillum is or who he was, but Andrew Gillum is a politician from Florida. What did he do? He ran for governor. Let me look him up real quick. But he just came out in regards to being bisexual. Okay? Why is this news? Why is it news? He's not the first black politician to come out as a part of the LGBT community. And anyone who knows my background and knows that I know that to such an extent. For those of you out there who are not aware, my father actually at one point in time had a brush with politics, and my father is openly a part of the LGBT community. It's not a big deal to come out. It's just not. So, you know, I made an announcement today on my Twitter in regards to coming out as, and I'm coming out in advance because I'm not quite old enough yet, but I made an announcement in advance to come out as a cougar. Because most likely in the future, I will be very involved in the world of politics. And I just want everyone to know that I'm openly going to be a cougar politician. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. I just wanted to let you all know in advance. But anyway, let me just read a bit of this. Let's see, this is on Apple News. The headline is, Andrew Gillum says, quote, "I identify as bisexual," end quote, in first interview since hotel scandal with another man. His wife said, quote, "Love and sexuality exist on a spectrum," end quote, and that all she cares about, quote, "is what's between us and what agreement do we make to be in a relationship with each other," end quote. Me reading this is actually very interesting. Very interesting considering how close to home this particular story hits when it comes to just my life. Let's see, this was written by Sean Newman, September 14th, 2020. Andrew Gillum told Tamron Hall in a sit-down on Monday that he is bisexual, a revelation as part of his first interview since he was caught in the middle of a scandal in March that led him to enter rehab and retreat from his once promising career. The Democratic politician who lost the 2018 Florida governor's race by less than half a percentage point to Ron DeSantis, made headlines this spring after he was found drunk in a hotel room with another man who may have overdosed on drugs and who was treated by responders, according to local police. Authorities also said that a substance suspected to be meth was found in the room, though Gillum said he had only had alcohol. The other man identified himself as an escort through the website Rent Men, according to a local TV news article. He told the Miami New Times in March that he and Gillum had been friends for a while. Maybe they have been. Time is all about perspective. It's all relative. Gillum, 41, he's my age. Okay. Addressed the speculation fueled by that encounter when he spoke with Hall in the season premiere of her talk show on Monday. Quote, "The truth is that, Tamron, everyone believes the absolute worst about that day. At this stage, I don't have anything else to conceal. What was most hurtful was this belief that I was somehow living a lie in my marriage and in my family," end quote, he said. Quote, "To be very honest with you, when you didn't ask the question, you put it out there, is whether or not I identify as gay. And the answer is, I don't identify as gay, but I do identify as bisexual," end quote, he continued. Quote, "And that is something that I have never shared publicly before," end quote. He shouldn't have to share that publicly. When it comes to love and relationships, there's so many layers to it, so many perspectives, so many dimensions. Some people walk one path when it comes to sexuality and love and relationships. Other people walk varying paths. Is there any right or wrong? Not from my perspective, as long as you're being honest with yourself and honest with whoever it is that you're with, and you don't intentionally seek out to hurt someone or deceive someone. The deception and the lack of honesty is usually what gets people in trouble. But wow. But again, this to me, this is, if you know my history, which was put out there by some people who honestly had no right to put it out there, but it's out there. Anyone who knows my history knows that to me, this is not a shocking thing. I think that Gillum is handling this with a lot of grace and poise, but I just don't see why it's a big deal, really. But at least it's breaking down some barriers, hopefully. It'll be interesting to see how this particular story develops. I'm not going to read all of it, but if you want to check it out, you can check it out on, where's this article from? People magazine. Okay, but you know, a lot of men are bisexual, and because of a lot of stigmas and whatnot, a lot of men feel like they can't come out about that. A lot of women are bisexual too. And sometimes you find yourself, when you're bisexual, in a straight relationship. You might even go as far as have a family and whatnot. Other times you might be in an openly LGBTQ and whatever other letter is in there kind of relationship. But I guess it does matter politically, because what's politics? Just people, relationships and whatnot. But should your sexual orientation determine whether or not you're a good or bad politician, whether or not you're capable of holding office? Not in my opinion.